Hello, I'm USA Today bestselling author, storyteller, and cheeky wench, Susan Tisdale. I've been writing since I was a little girl and published my first novel in December of 2011. Since then, I've sold more than 750,000 copies of my books around the world and have hit the USA Today bestsellers list twice. I'm here to share tips, tricks, and advice on writing, cover art, and indie publishing in general. So grab your favorite beverage, pen and paper, and gird your loins, babies. This could get a little bumpy. Hello, hello, hello. Can you all hear me? Oh, I'm sorry, Aurora. Hey, it's so good to see all of you here. Can you hear me all right? Hi, Linda. How are you, dear? Hi, Ari Laurel. Ruthie. No, it's just one of the intros, Linda. I like to screw around with it every now and then. Oh, I'm sorry you have a bad arm, Aurora. So does Shannon Nemechek. Actually, she has a bad hand. My writing is going quite well. Thank you, Holly. Let's see. You forgot today was Wednesday? That's all right. That's all right. I did too. Until late this morning. Anyway, hi Amy. Hi Tish. I hope everyone is having a great night. Don't forget to hit that like button. Hi Tina when you come in. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm working on some new lighting and I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, so just bear with me. Hi Tara. Good. So, as I was saying, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit share because that really helps our algorithms. And yeah, I was not doing well Friday, Amy. Just not doing well at all. Um, but anyway, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share, and if you're watching on the replay crew, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section because I do watch those. Oh, roast beef dinner? That sounds good. Hi, Bobby. You see some post-it notes on the wall over there? Yes, you do, darling. I want to show you guys something in case you missed it earlier, so hang on. Hi. So for a few weeks, I've been really struggling with how to do my con board and my board of insanity that I use for plotting my books. When Allie Pleiter joined us a couple of weeks ago, she showed us that she has a glass block wall in her office, and that's what she uses for plotting. Well, I don't have a glass block wall. This is my con board. I just wanted to get away from poster boards, right? This is my con board. It sucks right now. It needs a lot of work. But what I'm really excited about is this. I don't have a glass block wall, but I do have windows. So this is what I've been working on. I've got notes everywhere and I'm super excited. Thank God for these waterproof sticky notes. God, I love these. For the life of me, when I was doing that, I could not remember what these things are called, and they're transparent sticky notes. And I am so in love with these things. I think it was Amy who turned me on to those a few weeks ago. I think it was Amy Fendley. I'm not sure. But oh man, it's been a game changer. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, as for Friday night, I share my journey with you on my depression and my ADD. And y'all know that we can't get the Adderall anymore, which just breaks my heart. God, it breaks my heart. So we've replaced it with something called methylphenidate, which is basically Ritalin for adults. And for several days, I was just completely out of it. I couldn't write. I didn't want to do anything. I sat in my chair on my sofa playing Merge Mansion and Angry Birds Blast. And I had no inspiration. I was exhausted. I was tired all the time. Um, Oh, yeah, Shannon says she won't be typing a lot. That's okay. But anyway, so I've been dealing with this medication adjustment, and today was just a really, really good day. I felt great. I woke up for the first time in since I started this methylphenidate, and actually felt good. I felt like I had slept well, and I started working from the time I got up. Um, I'm stuck on Catan, which is now on Xbox. I have no idea what that means, Amy. I don't know what that is. Um, I don't know what that means. Okay. Anyway, you have yours ordered, Amy? Yeah, they are just I just absolutely love, love, love these transparent sticky notes. And yes, they are waterproof. And yes, they are transparent, right? But their sticking power is just beyond it's just absolutely fabulous. And I love and see, I could put this back on here if I was, coordinated. I'm about as graceful as a three-legged billy goat. Hi, Angie. Anyway, I can remove this. I can take these things off of my window and put them on anywhere, just anywhere. They restick and they restick and they restick. And yes, that's my favorite part. They do not roll, they do not curl. Um, they stay in place. And I've been putting little notes on my windows, and they have not gone anywhere. Now, some of you might not know, but Shannon had to have hand surgery, and she called me. I don't know if I have her permission to talk about this or not, but let's just say it was an amusing phone call. She's still hurting, but she feels better. Hi, Rita. So glad you're here. I'm so glad everyone is here. I really appreciate you all being here tonight. Anyway, I'm doing great today. I'm having a fabulous day. Okay, thank you, Shannon. So Shannon calls me right after her surgery, and she is so flippin' stoned. It's not even funny. And normally she just has this really upbeat, happy voice, and it was like, I just got out of surgery and I'm feeling kind of weird. It was just absolutely hilarious. It did not sound anything at all like her. So, but I'm glad she's feeling better. I'm glad she's mending because I don't think I could do this without Shannon. So I owe her so much. So I think everybody should just give her a huge round of applause because without Shannon, we wouldn't be doing this. She has helped me get my YouTube channel started and um just his top I've learned so much about YouTube and short videos and live videos and Premiere, just anything you think of if it has to do with YouTube. Um, she's been just a tremendous help. Um, you don't even remember that completely. Give her a hand. I'm so sorry. Yeah, a one-handed clap because I'm sorry. I should have said round of applause. I apologize, Shannon. Anyway, who got to write today? Who got to write today? Anybody? 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 I did. I actually wrote and plotted some more, and I felt pretty good about it. It wasn't, 10,000 words or anything, but it was a hell of a lot better than what I'd been doing. So, show of hands, who has written today? You did. Yay! Yay, Ari Laurel. That's okay, Kelly. That's okay. Not everybody gets to write every day. Yes, Shannon did write, or Bobby did write on a mirror today. I love you, Bobby. Um, I think we all need to take those lazy days every now and then. But for those of you who wrote today, this is for you. You got me taking an allergy pill. Zyrtec. Gotta love it. Mm. Yes, I'm cold. I'm freezing. I'm back to being a popsicle again. Let's see. Let's go back to chat. Man, I gotta put my readers on so I can read. Um, yes, I've been blocked for a while. That just happens. That just happens. Um, hey, notes count. Um, Oh, nice. Amy says she was at a library meeting. We don't have a library within a 40-mile radius, so trying to get one built. That is awesome. You go, girl. You go. I hope that works out. Oh, Angie, I hope you feel better soon. Now, were you the one who turned me on to the transparent sticky notes, Angie? Are you the one I have to thank for that? I don't know who did, but I really appreciate it. Yes, it's getting chillier here as well. Um, let's see. I always worry I'm going to miss things. Yes, every town needs a library. Our town doesn't have a library, but just right next door. I mean, you can't tell where our town stops and the next town begins. So it's like that. So they have a really nice library. Yes, Amazon. Amazon and the transparent sticky notes. Seriously, I'm so addicted to these. And all these lovely colors. And yes, I'm going to be ordering more. I love this color. The purple. That's pretty cool. And it's got, all the bright, brilliant colors. It's warm where Diana is. Yeah, warm one day, cold the next. Yep, I hate that crappy weather. So it was actually better here today, weather-wise, but it's supposed to turn off cold and we're supposed to get some snow and rain. Oh, that's nice. Oh, Aurora, that's cool. They turned a 1800s mansion into part of a library here while building the main building. I think that's a fabulous idea. Yeah, I'm ready for spring too. I really am. I am just ready for spring. Oh, 6 inches by Friday, Christina? That just sucks. I'm so sorry. And have you seen the snow out in California? Have you all seen this? My mind is just blown by that. Just absolutely blown. I mean, they literally have people who are trapped inside their homes because they have like 6 feet of snow on their roofs. It is nuts. It's just absolutely nuts. But they needed the snow, they needed the rain, they needed that moisture. I know, right? Amy, you can have my snow. If I could send it to you, darling, I would. Anyway, so I hope everybody had yeah, I've seen those videos too, and it's just they're walking down these pathways. It just reminds me of blizzards we had back in the 70s, and you would have this mountain of snow that was 10 feet tall, 12 feet tall, 14 feet tall, and it was just these massive walls of snow, and you would just walk through it, and it was just really weird. Ah, Holly, that is awful. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Let me guess, he's 12? Rita, your grandson, he's 12 or older? Yeah, I can't get a winter coat on my daughter and I, we cannot get a winter coat on my 12-year-old grandson. He's just a little bit goofy, but, he's our goofy kid and we love him. Anyway, so we're all here for our writer challenge. And, we received several first 500 words. I really have to come up with a better word for this, but so moving forward, I'm just going to call it a writer's challenge or a writing challenge. And we will be using that hashtag on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay. And I will be inviting more people to join us on our challenge, right? And so there are new instructions. So when I share this link with you tonight, please read those new instructions because it's important. I had a little bit of an issue with my email, with my Susan at SusanTisdale.com email, right? And I had been fighting it for 3 weeks and they weren't forwarding it. I was using a different server, blah, blah, blah. And then I switched over to Squarespace and that saves me 2 grand a year, over 2 grand a year, right? Switching to Squarespace for my website, my email client, um, my blog, all of it. It's saving me over 2 grand a year, right? But they unfortunately don't have an email email. They just you can't get email at Squarespace, which is fine. But I couldn't get it transferred from the previous over to, like, a Google Workspace, and I'd been fighting for weeks, literally weeks, trying to get this fixed. Anyway, I finally just called GoDaddy today, and they had it fixed in 10 minutes, so I was very lucky. So, the Susan at SusanTisdale.com is working, but we are still using, um, the new email address, which is in the instructions for the writer challenge, okay? And I forget what it's called. It's like Susan's Cheeky Winch writing prompts or something silly like that. Done. What is it? Let me find it. Okay, Cheeky Winch writing prompts at gmail.com. And that is part of the new instructions. And again, make sure when you send these that you send them in a Word doc or Word doc X. I can even do pages, that's fine, but no RTFs, no PDFs. Please don't put them in the actual email itself. Um, and make sure you pay attention to what round we are on. Yes, I did put the message on there. But make sure you put in the subject line that it's round 4, and that's what we're on this time, and they are due, I believe, March 17th. So, and I think that's okay. Now, I did lose a lot of emails the past week. So if anybody sent me anything prior to last Wednesday or after last Wednesday, if anybody sent me anything to my Susan at SusanTisdale.com email, I don't have it. It's gone forever. Resend it. Okay? Because I just don't have it. Okay? Um, So I'm really excited about this. And yes, I am going to start sharing the link on the Writers Challenge to like Instagram and Facebook. I don't know about TikTok. I think just get really mean at all these different places. I'm not sharing it to Twitter because, as far as I'm concerned, Twitter is the cesspool of the universe. But that's just my personal opinion. I really like Instagram. It feels safe there, so I don't have to worry about anything there. So I'm really happy. Anyway, Howard Higginbottom, right? You like that, Tina? So the writing prompts, I like to read these out to you. So the writing prompts this week are, and instead of numbering them, we're doing A, B, and C. So writing prompt 4, and then whichever one you chose, A, B, or C. So A is, it had been exactly 1,643 days since he'd lost his sweet wife. B is, Howard Higginbottom loved the smell of fresh formaldehyde in the morning. I think that it could just freaking go anywhere. And C, Natalie Jameson stood over the body of Matt Hoffman, deceased for at least 3 days by her estimation. I can't wait to see what y'all come up with. Yes, Twitter is a soul sucker, but I think on our next round, not we're on round 4 now, but the next round, I think I'm going to do some sci-fi prompts and maybe some historical romance prompts. What do you all think? Would you like to try a sci-fi or a fantasy or an historical romance? Would y'all like to try that? Let me know in the chat section because I still haven't figured out how the hell to do a poll using Restream. I really need to figure it out. I think B would make a great serial killer story. Historical romance, please. Yes, I will do that. I will do that. I'm going to write myself a note and put that up on my window. All the above. Send a multiple kind of genre. Okay, sure. So we'll do sci-fi, fantasy, and historical romance. So that'll be on our next round. How does that sound? I don't really do erotica, so I just don't. I have nothing against it. Really, really, truly, I just don't. What can I figure out on Restream? Shannon, I can't figure out how to add a poll on Restream. I just can't figure it out. Okay, see, I can't. Horror scares the hell out of me. It just does. It just does. I cannot read Dean Koontz. Oh my gosh, the nightmares I get. He's a fabulous writer. Do not get me wrong. I think the man can write. But yeah, scares the hell out of me. And the same for Stephen King. Um, Tish, there isn't an email. It's a link that I'm putting in chat. I'll put it in here again. And you just click on that link, Tish, and that will take you over to Google Docs. And in that Google Doc will be the instructions. Okay. Yeah, I might not be able to create a poll through here, but I know that I don't even know what that is. I don't even know. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm learning all sorts of new things. But anyway, yeah, I can't read horror. I can't. I can't. I'm a chicken. I really am. I'm just a big old chicken. Nothing that terrifies me like that. My sister Pam, she absolutely loves horror novels. Stephen King and Dean Koontz. Those are her two favorite authors in the entire world. And I'm like, I just can't. I just can't. And she does the audiobooks for them. I just can't even imagine listening to an audiobook written by Dean Koontz or Stephen King or anybody of that who writes in that genre. It would, oh my God. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I just can't. I'm a big old chicken. Oh, shit. There's where those glasses went earlier. Anyway, let's move on. You're welcome, Tish. Let's move on to these writing prompts that we received. Okay. And we received several and they were all really good, but I picked the top two. Okay. And again, everybody's remaining anonymous. Sorry, just had a back spasm. Everyone is remaining anonymous. And I'm just going to read these tonight. Okay. And y'all can just listen. Okay. Her long, slender fingers flew over the keyboard with the smoothness of a gentle stream cascading over the rocks. The tune of Fleur Elise filled the air around her. Her eyes were closed to the spectators slowly growing in the airport terminal. She is what one is called an airport piano player. She did this daily, and the tips received supported her until she hopefully became professional. But for now, she settled playing for the crowds, the curious onlookers surrounding her, dropping tips into the huge wine glass she placed on top of the upright. Many times she heard the murmurs of, "She's wonderful. Why isn't she on stage in an orchestra?" Yes, that is a great question, she mused. With her eyes closed, body gently swaying, feeling the music, she failed to notice the one man standing off to the side of her. Brad Taylor stood with his hands shoved deep into the pockets of his jeans, mesmerized as he listened to her play. He took in her slender neck, bent as she moved with the music. His gaze followed to the messy bun style of her dark blonde hair. Tendril wisps fluttered around her neck. Smiling, he tapped his head, keeping the beat with her. Somewhere in the distance, he heard men talking loudly. "He's got to be around here somewhere. How can a man his height disappear so damn easy?" "I don't know, but if we don't find him, our jobs are on the line." Brad looked around in time to see them walk away. Thank God they didn't see him. Turning his attention back to the distraction at hand, she ended the song and was standing, turning to retrieve her wineglass and the money she made. Their eyes met. "You play great," he complimented while casting his gaze beyond the crowd, now dispersing. "Thank you." She began, watching his retreating back. Shrugging, she picked up her purse to leave, weaving her way through the crowd. She heard rushing footsteps coming from behind. Strong hands gripped her arm as he got in step with her. Gasping, she recognized the stranger. The look of concern marred his handsome face. "What are you doing?" she demanded. "Walk with me." "It appears that I have to, since you have a death grip on me." "Let me go," she snapped, trying to shrug free, but his grip only tightened. "Stay calm, stay relaxed." If you fail to release me this instance, I shall scream out for help. Your life depends on If your life depends on it, you won't do that, he threatened. She looked at his face, seeing the stern seriousness there. The quick glare caused her to do as he said. Hating it, she pressed her lips together. My life? How did my life get involved with this? Brad noticed the two men looking his way and stuffed a packet into the opening of her purse just as he released her and ran away, yelling, I will find you. Right? Oh, yeah, no, it was glasses. So that I think has great bones for a fabulous story, right? I just really do think so. Um, we had some critiques. Uh, let's see. I'm going to read one of the critiques. Okay. Let's see. From our second panelist. This submission has a nice setup for an intriguing story. I want to know what's up with Brad and who those men are. The juxtaposition between the serene picture painted by her and the obvious danger Brad poses is well done. Areas for improvement include watching tenses, and this is just a side note. We see that a lot. And I even do this. I make this mistake and I catch myself doing it all the time. I really do. Sometimes it's really difficult to pay attention to what tense that you are using, past, past perfect, present, future, whatever. So, a lot of authors do this, so you're not alone. The writer switches back and forth between past and present. I suggest the writer choose the tense that is best for the story and stick with that. And I agree with all of this. Another area for improvement surrounds the point of view. Typically in romance novels, one POV per scene is accepted. This writer is providing the internal monologue for both protagonists in this scene, which is considered head hopping. When deep into one character's POV, the reader should experience only what that reader sees, or what that character sees, hears, smells, touches, and overall experiences. Um, and yeah, I like that it's not your typical meetup too, Angie. I really enjoyed that. Um, Always, there is room for improvement, and it's very difficult though, right? For us to do this with that 500 word limit, right? That's why I do it. That's why I set that hard limit. It isn't because I'm lazy and don't want to read anymore. But when you are limited to those 500 words, you know that you have to pack a lot of information into those 500 words, right? And it can sometimes be very, very difficult. But that's the challenge. It challenges you to just really think, how much information can I get into 500 words? Um, Yeah, I loved the part with the piano. I really do. I like how this is not your typical meetup. Now, when I sent her my critiques, um, as a reader, head hopping intrigues me. Am I strange to feel this way? No. My first several books, I head hopped all the time. I head hopped all the time until I wrote Frederick's Queen. Um, Tara says, I absolutely want to know what happens next. What did he put in her bag? How will he find her? How does he know who she is? Oh, Hammy says she would love to learn to play the piano. Me too. Um, so as I said, this has got really, really good bones for a fabulous story, and I really hope that this author continues with it. Um, if she's not limited to those first 500 words, then she has the opportunity to go back and add what we believe is needed, pay attention to the tense. She could do one scene where it's his point of view, which I think that's where she should start, is from Brad's point of view. And then she could do a scene break and write that same scene with her point of view, right? Um, and I do that a lot. Not every single every single scene. I don't do it all throughout the entire book. Not every chapter is like that. But sometimes on really important scenes, I think it's perfectly acceptable to have that first scene that is just one point of view, and I think it should be Brad's, and then do a scene break and do that same scene, but from the piano player's perspective. Does that make sense? Yeah, I would love to know what she's feeling in the scene too. Exactly. Yes, Amy. Um, Not everybody, that's why we're here. We're here to learn and to encourage and to motivate. But yes, I want to know what she thinks. I do. But again, this author was limited to that 500 word max, right? So I think that 500 word max just teaches us to pack as much as, oops, to pack as much as we can into that one scene. And I think if you treat this maybe more as a prologue, I don't know, show of hands who writes prologues. Every one of my books has a prologue, every single one of them. I'm a huge fan of prologues. Not everybody likes them, and that's okay. But I think if you treat this as a prologue, oh, I hope you do, Tish. Aurora says, I'm hooked and intrigued. Then when it ended, I'm like, no, I want more. Yeah. Um, yes. I'm good. I'm glad you're learning. I'm glad you're learning. So anyway, um, try to treat this 500 word max as a prologue. Okay. Yeah. Write a prologue. And then if you go to finish the rest of the book, make it chapter one. If you don't like prologues, make it chapter one. But I think if you maybe come at it from that perspective, you can see how packing as much as you can into a short space is helpful. I love prologues. I really do. I'm a huge fan of those. And then there are some authors and some readers who just absolutely despise them. Not me. Not me. Huge fan. Love them, love them, love them. You, Aurora says, that's what I'm trying to do, as I've never done prologues before. It's an awesome challenge. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you all are enjoying this writing challenge. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's saying I did a few prologues and changed them to chapter one. I think that's awesome. It's okay, Shannon. We know what you mean. We know it's difficult for you to type right now. Don't worry about your spelling. We will all. I need an editor for my text messages. So going back to voice to text, I can't type. That's okay, sweetheart. That's okay. You rest those thinners, okay? You just rest those fingers. So anyway, I do think that this story has a lot of promise. And yeah, oh, okay. So Linda makes a great point. She says the catch for me with the prologue is trying to keep it from being an info dump. And that can be difficult. But what you're doing with that prologue is setting the tone for the rest of the book. Doesn't have to be an info dump. Let's see. Hang on a second. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of one that I really like. Prologue. Okay, that's not a good example because it's in. Okay, maybe this is a good example. Hang on. Uno momento, please. Okay, share screen. Window. This one. Okay. Oh, sure, Tish. Tish wants to share something she wants to celebrate. Go right ahead, darling. And then we will move on to this next step. What is it, dear? To me, the prologue is the hook. That makes me want to read the book. Exactly. I'm intrigued. I want to know what Tish wants to celebrate. There is always a lag. I might switch to StreamYard. I don't know yet because there is a serious lag sometimes between what you all put in the chat and by the time I receive it, there's always a lag. So I don't want to fill the space with dead space. Can't post messages to some channels. Okay. I'm going to go ahead on with this and share. Okay. Tish says, I was pleasantly surprised when an author I proofread for used my quote on the back cover of her debut book, Christian Fiction. That's awesome. Congrats, Tish. That is just amazing. You go, girlfriend. That is awesome. Yes, my nose is itching. I know I shouldn't do that. But anyway, so back to the first 500 or back to prologues. I'm going to share my screen with all of you. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's see. Can you all see this? Okay, so someone's talking about me, my nose is itching? Probably. So as you can see, this prologue from The Bowie Bride was written in italics because, where did it go? Okay, because this prologue is actually written by the killer. Okay? The book is not about the killer. The killer's just in the book. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? But it sets the tone, I believe, for the rest of the book. What do you think? Holly says, I like to put some inciting action into the prologue, then jump into the middle of something that happens much later as a result for the first chapter. Cool. Anyway, so in that prologue, in that book, it is written from the killer's standpoint, which is important because throughout the book, yes, you figure that out. You do figure that out, Tina Marie. Hang on. Where is this? Okay. I don't know how well you can read it, but I'll read it. So keep in mind, this is from the perspective of the killer. And I think eventually you will figure out that that's what's going on. Alec Bowie has decided to marry. 'Twas all the idiot Dougal's idea. Marry someone for me in Macintosh's clan, he said. 'Twould unite us in peace, he said. If I did na ken any better, I'd swear Alec was not a true Bowie. Peace, 'tis all he talks about. 'Tis what he's speaking of today. Lay down your weapons and pick up the plow, he tells us, standing atop the wall, looking down at us as if we were idiots. Let us become a prosperous clan through farming, through weaving and whiskey making. Let us leave the old ways behind. Let us leave a legacy to our children that doesn't include reaving, stealing, or killing. Let us be more than we are. Let us become a clan. So it goes on and on and on. And then down here, peace. Bah! The Bowies ken nothing of peace, and why should we? Have we no survived for more than a century as we are? I see how the men, not all, but most, look up to him. They believe all that he says. They believe peace be a better road than the life we've been living. What fools they are. I expect more from Alec than this. How can he allow Dougal to lead him down this treacherous path? To hell with peace, I say, to hell with it. Chances are that no one in their right minds will agree to marriage betwixt our clans. I can only hope that the people of the Macintosh and McLaren's clan will see the folly of this offer and refuse it. Alec can no marry. I have plans for him. I'm not worried, though. If there is a woman amongst Ian Macintosh's clan foolish enough to marry Alec, she will not live long enough to regret her decision. I'll see to it. I'll kill Alec's bride. So you see, you do get the idea that hang on. There we go. You do get the idea that that is from the killer's perspective. Okay. Yes, when you put it in italics, you know it's internal thought. Yeah, exactly. It ends kind of on a cliffhanger, right? The prologue is a cliffhanger. Wants them to read more. Okay. And I get more compliments on The Boy Bride than all my other books. Everybody loves The Boy Bride and Frederick's Queen. So, yeah, the change in font oftentimes for me catches my eye and draws me in. Exactly. So, you see how you can pack a punch? That's not a long prologue. It really isn't. It's not pages and pages and pages long. It's what, one and a half, 2 pages long? That's all you need, right? And you're packing a punch and you're leaving that reader wanting more. Linda says, certainly makes me want to know why Alex shouldn't be marrying or why peace isn't an option. Exactly. He almost makes it sound like it's okay to kill. Totally side with him, Tina. Oh, I love you guys. Okay. It's quarter after. We need to move on to the next one. I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to move on to the next story. Okay, so get rid of that one and we'll open the other one. Okay. This was another good one with great potential. Some killers were smarter than others. A smart killer knew how to avoid getting caught. Fortunately for Detective Rainier, I don't know if it's Rainier or Rainier. I'm going to say Rainier. Most killers were not that smart. The Westlake killer was smart. She watched as number 4 was loaded into the dark blue van. When the door slammed shut, showing coroner in the big white letters, Detective Lynn Rainier turned back to the scene. Like the others, number 4 was found just off the trailhead near the parking lot that overlooked the boat launch ramp. The killer was arrogant enough to not bother hiding the bodies at all. The proximity of so much traffic also meant there were too many things around that disguised anything the killer might have left behind. When the first was found, the crime scene crew had photographed, bagged, and logged in hundreds of items, and chances are none came from the killer or the still unidentified victim. Cigarette butts from a variety of different brands, broken fishing equipment, a sock, a child's sweatshirt, candy and food wrappers, and more. At least they hadn't included all the piles of dog shit left along the trail. It had been 9 days, and with the warmer weather, the trash had increased substantially. The detective adjusted her glasses to hide a yawn. Until the sun came up, there wasn't much to see beyond the lights of the cinder block restroom building. Franklin, who found the body? The deputy nodded toward the building, but before he could say anything, Detective Rainier swore. Damn. Phoebe Mills? At the edge of the light, a uniformed officer was struggling to hold the leashes of 4 big dogs. They started lunging at her until she clicked her tongue and flipped her hand upward. The charcoal gray pit bull immediately sat in the gravel, and the other 3 joined him after a moment. The detective strode into the restroom. Phoebe? Detective Rainier had another one. Why me? The woman wiped her nose with a handful of toilet paper. Rainier opened her notebook. Tell me what happened. Phoebe wrapped her arms around herself, almost making her 6-foot body seem small in the oversized college sweatshirt and leggings. Same as last time, I got off work at 3:30, picked up the puppies, and was just starting up the trail when the dogs went a little nuts in the bushes. As soon as I saw, she sniffed. I called the dogs off and called the police. The detective glanced at her watch, nearly 5:30. She peered up at the woman towering over her own nearly 5-foot one. That's all? The woman shook her head. I had grabbed some leftover food from the bar and ate it in my car before I got the dogs. It was busy. Soccer finals. I didn't get a dinner break. I'm not sure what time I exactly got here. She glanced at the detective notes. Wait, 4? There have been 4? Oh my God. She stumbled back until she sat on the edge of the sink. You might think about taking the dogs elsewhere for a while. I really liked that. I really, really liked that. Oh, I gotta scroll down. What did you guys think? I thought it was good. It leaves me wanting more. Um, let's see. Panelist one says good tension and good setup would suggest the writer watch the tenses, but other than that, good setup. Characters believable and intriguing enough to make me want to read more. Well done. Let's see. Panelist two, what I would tighten up, not much. If I was being picky, I'd tighten up the main character, maybe tell some backstory details like how long has she been a detective? How bad was the scene? Had she ever seen a crime scene like this? How was it connected to the other 3 murders? Just a little detail, not to give anything away. And I agree with that. Okay. But again, oh, Kelly, Holly and Mistletoe says, oh my God, I wrote that while drinking. It was actually really good, Holly. I love the dog poo too. I don't know. Am I still frozen? I really liked it though. I really liked it. Let me know if I'm frozen. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I moving okay? I'm fine. Okay. Good. Okay. So I really liked that. And you wrote that while slightly inebriated. Well, didn't Hemingway say write drunk, edit sober? I think so. Yeah, edit drunk, write sober. I think it's a great setup. I really do. But again, trying to pack as much as you can into 500 words. Now, if she takes my advice and makes this an actual story, then she can slow down and she can add in some of those important details. Yeah, it's one of my favorite Hemingway quotes. It's probably the only one I know. A lot of great books were written a bit tipsy. Yep. I wrote the one with a cat on my keyboard in 20 minutes before deadline. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Diana. Maybe you can rewind and watch and maybe it will fix. Yeah. I think it was a great start. I see a lot of potential there and I do want to know more. So, yeah. So, and then some people have submitted several times and I'm not going to mention names, but someone in particular has submitted several times. And I am so proud of how this author is taking our advice and using it to make her stories even better. And tense. I think that the tense that we are using, sometimes it's hard to keep track of what tense you are using, right? And this particular author is really paying better attention to her tense, and she's doing a great job. And I think she's on here tonight, and I think she knows who I'm talking about. So, congratulations, you're doing much better. Keep up the great work. You'll backtrack later. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, I am so loving our writing challenge. What do you guys think? Are you enjoying the writer's challenge? Because I sure am. Yeah, tense. I'm here, there, everywhere, right, Tina? Yeah, I do that. But I think once you get the hang of things and you've got it in the front of your mind, paying attention to that, then I think your writing can improve. Oh, good. I'm glad. It definitely works the writing muscles. Exactly. I don't know how long it takes, Michaela. We're just doing 500 words. Yeah, I love seeing the different stories that come out, and even when people are using the same prompt, they write totally different stories, and it's just absolutely amazing, and I love it. And I'm going to share the link again to our Google Doc where you can go see what the prompts are and what the rules are and what email you can send it to. But I really am enjoying this. So if you have author friends or, people who um, like a challenge or whatever, tell them to try this. Um, yeah, I love giving the feedback. I do. I love giving feedback on these. So Diana says, I love them. I started the last one, but then got busy and stuff, so didn't finish, but I have notes. There you go. There you go. So the one we're round four is going to be due to me by March 17th. And then we will talk about it. Is that right? 17th and then the 22nd, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So that gives my panel 5 days to do their critiquing, but it doesn't take long, I don't think. Aurora says, I'm loving it. I'm learning so much. Show, tell, and tenses are her challenge, but this is what I love. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad we can help. I'm glad we can help anybody. And when I say we, I mean we collectively. Like, there are really experienced authors in here. There are authors who've never published yet. There are authors who only have maybe 1 or 2 books out. So I look at this as the collective we. I call this our Wednesday nights with the Wench because you all help make it fabulous, right? And I just love that. I'm glad. I will definitely keep it. And I think, yeah. So the one I shared tonight is round 4, and it's due to me by the 17th. If you can get it done sooner, that would be really fabulous. And I'm really, really certain that my panelists would really appreciate that. But for round 5, I will do the sci-fi, the fantasy, and the historical romance. Well, I'm glad you found us too, Amy. Oh, I'm glad, Diana. I like this group too. I hope it grows. I hope it continues to grow week after week. That's why liking and commenting and sharing and subscribing is important because it helps build my audience, our audience. It just helps build our audience. And I think the more people that we can get here on Wednesday nights and even Friday nights, the more people we can help, right? Does that make sense? Oh, Roy says, I don't know where it'd be if we hadn't gotten together to meet up weekly. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad we are here to help. Yeah, do a reel and share, Tina. Yeah, talk about Wednesday nights with the Wench. Let me know if you need any graphics or anything. So, yeah, but sharing helps, subscribing helps, liking helps, commenting helps. And I just want to build this audience to where we're just helping more and more people. So when we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a Rocket Notebook with pens. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Rocket Notebook is, it's fabulous. It's a notebook that is reusable. You can use pretty much any kind of pen. Or no, they have special pens. It's like a erasable gel pen, right? And what's really cool is you can write in this notebook, take a picture of it. It'll translate it from, handwriting to actual text. And then you can upload it to the cloud, send it to yourself, whatever. And then when you're done, you can take a damp cloth and erase the whole thing and start all over again. What is Pilot Scribe? I don't know what that is, Amy. Oh, the Pilot Scribe pens? I hope you do, Michaela. Oh, pens, you've got my interest. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny, Ruthie. Yeah, we do have 823 subscribers so far, but I really want to get to 1,000. I really do. The pen, yes, the Pilot Scribe pens work on the Rocketbook, and the Rocketbook really is very, very cool. And I like the fact that you take a picture and it transcribes your handwriting into text, and then you email it to yourself, send it to the cloud, whatever. And it's just really, yeah, Etch and Sketch's grandfather, or Etch and Sketch is its grandfather. That's that's a good analogy, Tina. Anyway, it is 7:26. Does anyone have any questions? I would like my nose to quit itching. But I did have a great day today, and I hope everybody else did. I hope I feel this good tomorrow. Um, because I've really got to finish this book. It's supposed to release on April 3rd, and I really don't want to have to push the date out. God, I don't want to have to do that. But I will if I have to. Okay? I will. I don't want to, but I will. What I would really like to do is just finish the damn book. This was awesomeness as usual. Gotta run. You have a great night, Angie. I like the prompts too and the direction. Yeah, I think it's awesome. So if nobody, I will wait and see. We already tripled from the beginning. That's true, Christina. That is true. That is true. Yeah, Discord. I loved our Discord sprinting group. The day after your birthday. What is the day after your birthday? When's your birthday, Shannon? You just don't put that in there. What is the day after your birthday? The 22nd? 17th? When's your birthday, Shannon? I need to know. April 2nd. Your book releases April 3rd. Okay. April 2nd is Shannon's birthday. I'm writing that down. April 3rd are my granddaughter's birthdays. It's so funny in my family. Kevin is not the biological father to any of my children, right? Because I met him later in life. Had I met him when I was 18, we would have our own reality show called 87 Children and Counting, because I would have had litters of babies. Anyway, his birthday and my oldest daughter's birthday are the same day. And I just think that's awesome. My daughter, who shares a birthday with my husband, is dating a young man. They're very, very serious. I think they're going to end up getting married, but I digress. His oldest daughter and our warrior princess, little Malaya, have the same birthday. They're just a year apart. Is that not weird? I just think that's weird and cool and awesome. So their birthdays are coming up, and we're going to have a Wednesday Addams themed birthday party. And no, they are not allowed to watch the new Wednesday Addams show. They can't, but they are allowed to watch the old Addams Family series from the 60s, right? And yeah, it's Kismet. I agree. So they're allowed to watch those, and they can watch the Wednesday dance from the series. Yeah, numerology magic. Exactly. And they are just fascinated. So I would like to tell you what I've done, but I can't, because sometimes Malaya likes to watch me on the YouTubes. Yeah. Loved what? I swear their meeting is a book. Oh, yes, how they met. Yeah, I could put that into a book. I really could. I could put it into a contemporary romance. Yes, I could. So anyway, it is 7:30. Yeah, it's not a show for kids at all. No, Wednesday is not a TV show for kids, because Malaya's going to be 7. Can you believe that? That 7 years ago, April 3rd, she came into this world. 1 pound, 11.5 ounces, and 12 inches long. I'm so sorry. Whew. That was probably next to the day my mother passed away. That was hard. Because this little tiny baby who is a micro preemie literally would fit in the palm of your hand. She was only 12 inches long. Oops. And, 1 pound, 11 and a half ounces, micropreemie. And I'm going to share this with you. The proudest moment in her mother's life, the time I don't care how old and bad my memory gets, but on this particular day, it was the day after she was born, and we found out that she had 5 brain bleeds. This doctor comes in and he says to Emily that she needs to make end of life decisions. Ladies, I couldn't breathe. I went out into that hallway and I collapsed on the floor. And I didn't even call Kevin. I called his office. And in between sobs, I said, I need Kevin. And the secretary at the time, Gigi, she didn't need to ask who I was, anything. She said, he will be right there. I didn't need to tell her come to the hospital or anything like that. So anyway, when Emily was actually in labor and they couldn't get it to stop, they told her that chances were that the baby wouldn't be breathing, but not to worry. They would immediately ventilate her. Then they told her, there's this thing, it looks like a Ziploc bag, but with a drawstring. They said, now she's going to be in this bag. And they showed us this bag. We will put her in this bag. And she could be in this for weeks until she learns to regulate her own body temperature. And they told us all sorts of things. So she came out crying. You could hear her, and it was like a kitten. This little, I can't do it because I just can't. But you've heard a kitten cry, right? So she came out crying like a little kitten, looking like a skin squirrel, and she was never ventilated. She has breathed on her own since the moment she was born. She was on room oxygen. She never had to have special oxygen. She did have the nasal cannula thing, but it was room oxygen, right? Nothing special. She was out of that little Ziploc tie bag in 15 minutes. So when the doctor comes in that day and tells Emily that she needs to make end of life decisions, she listened to him. She just sat there and she listened to him. I go out in the hall. I call Kevin. Call for Kevin. I go back in, and this is what I hear from Emily. To this doctor, she said, listen, you told me she wouldn't come out breathing, and she did. You told me she wouldn't come out crying, and she came out crying. You told me this, that, and the other, and y'all were wrong. As far as I'm concerned, she is absolutely perfect in every way possible. And we are not going to have this conversation again. And I start crying all over again because I'm like, oh, she found her voice. And I was so proud of her. So god awful proud of her. And I drew so much strength from, now I have been through stuff, right? Both of my daughters had open heart surgery. My oldest had epilepsy. She had to have kidney bladder surgery. My son has had an emergency appendectomy. My son has had a tonsillectomy. I mean, all 3 of my children have been under the knife, right? I never cried. I just handled it. I handled it, right? I mean, yes, there were moments I cried, but I handled it like I was supposed to. And I've always, well, not always, but until I left my ex. After I left my ex, I just took pride in knowing that I will take care of everything. That's what I do. I'm the mom. I take care of everything. I'm grandma. I will take care of it. You need something, grandma will make sure you have it. So, but that day, I could barely breathe. I mean, I was I don't know how I didn't pass out or have a stroke, but anyway, I drew so much strength from Emily that day that from that point forward, no matter what happened, I knew Malaya was going to be okay because her mom had it. She had it all under control. And it was like, you know how you pass the torch, right, to your children? That was that defining moment where I realized, yes, my grown ass daughter is a grown up and she could take care of this. And Malaya's going to be fine. And I'm so sorry. This is still hard sometimes to talk about without crying. Anyway, so Malaya, St. Francis Children's Hospital has used her. She was in a presentation or something, shown at some conference or whatever, and I don't know if they still use it or not. Could be, but they used her as the example of all of the things that can go right with a preemie. Her brain bleeds went away. They just went away. There is absolutely, she's perfect. She's going to be 7 in April, and you would never ever know that she was a micro preemie and spent her first 79 days of life in the hospital. You just wouldn't know it. She has no speech delays. This kid is wicked, wicked smart, especially with numbers. Oh, wicked, wicked, wicked smart, has a wit. She just kills me. She just does. For example, her wit, her sarcasm, her smartassedness, whatever we want to call it. This was months ago. This is before Christmas. And Malaya is loud. She's just loud. She giggles loud. She plays loud, whatever. And she was running through the apartment and being loud. And Scott said, Malaya, please, honey, use your indoor voice. She looks right at him and says, I lost it. I don't know where it went. And then continued to scream and play and run. So, but she's the most beautiful, sweet, caring, giving little girl. Just don't piss her off because, man, she's got her grandmother's temper. And that can be really ugly sometimes. But yeah, she's precious. She's beautiful. She's doing great. Anyway, we digressed. I do that occasionally. I don't even know how we got on this subject. We were talking birthdays, weren't we? Wednesday Addams. Anyway, I love my grandbabies, if you can't tell, and I love my children. They're all awesome. And I'm sorry that I have rambled on and on and on. But anyway, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you all for being here tonight. It is greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And I just hope you have an awesome rest of your week. We'll see about Friday. Hopefully it will stay on this upward. What's the word I want? What's the word I want? Not progress. Hopefully I'll stay on this path of having really great days and being able to focus and stuff and not this up and down stuff. So I'm hoping the methylphenidate levels out and I can function like a human being. Trajectory. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bobby. Trajectory. Hopefully I stay on this forward trajectory. Anyway, hopefully I will be here Friday night. I will not make any promises, but if you see me, if you have the your notifications turned on, that little bell, choose all. If I do wake up feeling great Friday and Friday afternoon, I will do a Friday live. Okay. Just thank you all for being patient. Thank you all for being here. Just thank you all for participating and helping one another. I just hope we can continue to be an inspiration and a motivation to other authors, no matter what level they're at. And hopefully I'll see you Friday night, okay? May your muse sing to you sweetly. May your underwire not break. and may your coffee cup be forever full. I love you all. Thanks. Have a great week. Bye bye.